Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Guerlain Parure Gold Matte Foundation. I was very excited to try this foundation because I love the glowy foundation from the same line that was released a few years ago, and I was very excited to try this new foundation. It's a matte version of the Parure Gold foundation and it has some skincare benefits. I was able to go to my Guerlain counter and I was able to swatch 10 shades. There are 18 shades in total, but they only had 10 that I was able to swatch. So I'm going to show you swatches of the 10 colors in natural light. I'm going to show you a demo of the foundation and I'm going to share with you my thoughts. This foundation is actually quite similar to one of the foundations that we all love. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new here and you love beauty talks, be sure to join the fun, subscribe. We have the best beauty community here. And if you've already tried this foundation, let us know what are your thoughts. I really enjoy reading your comments and I really think that our community is so powerful because so many people are sharing their thoughts, their opinions on products, because makeup products don't work for everyone. So the more reviews we have here, the better it's going to be, the merrier. So let's go ahead and get started. As a lot of you probably know, I'm a huge fan of Guerlain's makeup line. I recently purchased all of the 5 new Guerlain Ombre G eyeshadow palettes. I have the mascara and I generally like to purchase Guerlain's makeup because I think that Guerlain have exceptional quality makeup. So I was a little bit not really sure if I wanted to buy this new foundation. I wanted to try it because I love the glowy foundation, the Parure Gold Glow Foundation, but I was not very sure whether I want to try this foundation or not because it's a matte foundation. I have combination skin, which means that some parts of my skin are dry, some parts of my skin are oily. However, recently I have been experiencing very dehydrated skin and my skin is not really smooth, and I usually like to use matte foundations in the spring, summer season, and mostly in the summer season, whereas in the fall, winter season, I try to gravitate more towards the glowy foundations. As always, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was not really sure whether I want to spend that much money on a foundation that is going to be matte because I recently, a few months ago, I purchased the new Givenchy matte foundation, the Prisma Libra, and I didn't use it, literally didn't use it because it's a matte foundation and I tried to stay away from this. Like somehow it just... matte foundations don't work as good right now on my skin. They somehow make my skin feel and look a little bit lifeless, which is something that I want to avoid. That's why I thought that I'm going to be trying a sample first. Also because when I went in store and I started swatching the colors and I started swatching the foundation, I actually saw that this foundation reminds me a lot to our favorite Clé de Peau Radiant Matte Foundation. It's really similar to this one. Now as I'm talking, I just want to go ahead and show you the swatches of the foundations that they had in store. I think that the color range is really nice. I think that includes a lot of colors, and in Guerlain means neutral undertones. C stands for cool undertones. What's surprising about this foundation is that contrary to my expectations, it's actually not a flat matte foundation, and you're going to see that as I start doing the demo of the foundation and as I start applying the foundation. One thing that I was afraid of was that this foundation is actually going to somehow remove the moisture from my skin. It's going to make my skin look a little bit lifeless. No, it's not like that. It's actually a very beautiful matte foundation, but it has some radiance. It's not a flat matte foundation. So it reminds me a lot the Clé de Peau Radiant Matte Foundation. Now, I'm very happy that I actually got a sample. I'm in love with this foundation. It's absolutely beautiful. The coverage is gorgeous. However, it reminds me so much of the Clé de Peau Radiant Matte Foundation that I'm really happy that I got the sample first, because I want to use a little bit this one first before purchasing a full size of the Guerlain foundation, because they are very similar. Now about the Guerlain foundation, it actually is a hybrid formulation and it has some skincare benefits. The skincare benefits come from the peony extract and also the iconic for the Parure Gold line gold extract. As I'm talking, I want to go ahead and insert some footage of me applying the foundation so that you can see the before and after. And please note how my skin doesn't lose its radiance when I apply the foundation. So it's definitely hydrating. It doesn't feel drying on the skin like most matte foundations are going to feel. It's creamy. The formula and the texture of the foundation is creamy, but it's not too liquidy and it's not too thick. I would say that you can apply this foundation if you want with fingertips. It also comes with a dedicated brush. The brush is just a kabuki brush with short bristles. It's very nice. I saw this one in store. I was able to play with the brush in store and I really like it. However, I would say that it's not completely necessary. If you have a good foundation brush, I think that the brush is not necessary. So I'm definitely going to be skipping the brush because I really like my Clé de Peau foundation brush. This is one that I like. I also love my Chantecaille Buff and Blur brush that I use for foundation application. So I would say that for the brush, it's a very good brush. If you are a fan of Guerlain and if you really want to have the brush together with the foundation, it's going to be a great addition, but it's not something that you absolutely need because I played with the brush. It's just a kabuki brush with very short, dense bristles. And I think that this is the kind of brush that is going to work best with this foundation because still it's a matte foundation. I find that I get the most flawless coverage with this foundation when I apply it with a brush. So I like to use my Clé de Peau foundation brush, but I've tried also the Chantecaille brush and I've tried also using it with my fingers. Now, to be honest, with my fingers, I don't get as flawless application as I get when I use the foundation with a brush. Okay guys, so this is right after I applied a thin layer of foundation all over my face. And as you can see, the interesting thing about this foundation is that it actually doesn't give me a flat matte finish. It actually kept the glow of my skin. My skin doesn't look like completely matte. It has some radiance, even though it's a matte foundation, even though it's a very long lasting foundation. It's still, my skin has some radiance, which is very subtle. I did moisturize my skin very well, and I did a proper skincare routine because my skin is really tired, dehydrated. But I really enjoy the fact that it doesn't completely take away the glow. It's not a flat matte foundation. This is something that I really like. So they were able to keep the radiance of the skin. This foundation is actually able to keep the radiance of the skin, and I can definitely build up the coverage a little bit more. I'm going to now apply just a little bit more. Well, actually, I would like to apply just a little bit more right here under my eyes, and I find it very interesting that it doesn't dry my under eye area, and this is usually the area where I like to test foundations, how they are going to perform on dry skin, because this is the part of my skin that is very dry and I have some fine lines also under my eyes, so it wears really nicely. It wears beautifully. It can definitely be built up on the places where you need a little bit more coverage. Okay, so probably I'm gonna use also a little bit of my beauty blender. But that's how it looks. Well, hello again. This is exactly 1 hour after applying the foundation. Now the foundation has set into my skin beautifully and it just looks so incredibly flawless. Absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous. I really enjoy the finish of this foundation because, as you can see, it just sets into my skin. I suppose that probably approximately 20-30 minutes after application, that's when the foundation really starts to look absolutely flawless and gorgeous, because it sets into my skin, it becomes one with my skin, it doesn't emphasize pores, it just gives me this very natural looking glow on the skin. That it's a very subtle glow, which is something that I truly enjoy. These are usually the kind of foundations that I like to use for a business meeting, or if I have something important, if I have some important event to attend to, or as I said, mostly for a business meeting. This is exactly the kind of coverage that I want. I don't want to look like I'm wearing foundation, but at the same time, I want my complexion to be very perfected. I want to make sure that if I have some imperfections or a little bit of pigmentation, I can rely on this foundation. So it's a very, very beautiful foundation. I just didn't want to apply anything on my skin. And I'm going to check in, of course, during the day, today, as the day goes. I'm going to keep checking in so that you can see how the foundation is going to look. But it's going to look pretty much flawless for approximately 7-8 hours. It's going to look absolutely flawless, and I don't use powder. Now, if you're very oily, you might feel the need to use some powder here and there. And that's depending more on the way your skin reacts, or depending on the climate, on the season. It all depends, but right now it's like late summer, early fall. It's not too hot outside, and I definitely can see that my foundation looks absolutely gorgeous. It stays absolutely gorgeous for 7 to 8 hours. So for whom this foundation is going to work best? I think that the new Guerlain Parure Gold Matte Foundation is going to work beautifully on all ages and on all different skin types. I feel confident to say that it's going to work really nice also on people who have dry skin, because it does not feel drying. I'm experiencing really dehydrated skin lately, and my skin is a little bit rough. I have been quite stressed lately, so my skin is misbehaving a lot. That's exactly the reason why I decided actually to get a sample first before actually investing in the foundation. And I would absolutely purchase a full size of this foundation because it is beautiful. I love the bottle. It looks very luxurious, very elegant. It's weighty. The foundation is 35 ml, which is a little bit more than the standard foundation that you're going to get. Actually, the Clé de Peau foundation that I'm talking about, again, is 35 ml. So you're getting the same amount of product. Now, it's going to be interesting for me in one of the next days to actually apply the Guerlain foundation on one side and then the Clé de Peau foundation on the other side, but I'm pretty sure that they are going to have the same performance, because until now this was my favorite matte foundation, exactly because of the fact that it's a radiant matte foundation and it doesn't take away the glow from my skin. And I feel confident that I can use this foundation even when my skin feels a little bit dry, rough, and it's not exactly smooth. I know that this foundation is going to perform beautifully. Same applies to the new Guerlain Parure Gold foundation. I feel confident to talk about it because I've worn it already for 3 days. This is going to be day 4, and actually this is going to be the day when I'm going to be showing you how it looks throughout the day. So right now on my face I have only the Parure Gold foundation. I have a little bit of blush. I finished my makeup, but that's it. I don't have concealer, I don't have powder, I don't have anything, because I want to show you how it's going to look and how it's going to perform throughout the day. I think that it's a beautiful, beautiful foundation. It doesn't emphasize pores, it doesn't emphasize fine lines. Once again, for the best application, I would say use foundation brush. I can use it with fingertips, but only if I want to use it like a concealer here and there. And if I really want to get this nice, flawless, even coverage, I definitely need to use a brush. And I think that that's exactly why they developed this brush together with the foundation. So it looks best if applied with a brush with dense bristles, like this one, for example. I'm definitely not going to be buying the little kabuki brush because I don't feel like using this little kabuki brush. I have plenty of foundation brushes that work really nice, but I prefer my Clé de Peau. This is my favorite foundation brush. It literally makes all foundations look so much better. With Guerlain foundations, I usually wear the shade 0 Neutral, and this is exactly the shade that I wear right now. So probably just go for the shade that you are normally using. I don't find any differences. The shade 0 Neutral matches my skin tone perfectly right now. It has neutral undertones. So the only reason why I'm not going to purchase a full size of the foundation right now is because I want to use this foundation from Clé de Peau. It's actually a full bottle that I purchased. I couldn't use it, and I want to use this one a little bit more because they are almost like dupes. I know that the Guerlain foundation has also some skincare benefits, and Guerlain worked on the skincare benefits of the foundation. However, I just don't want to have two foundations that have the same finish. I still buy foundation mostly for the coverage and not really for the skincare benefits, but it's good to have the skincare benefits. But if you do not have the Clé de Peau Radiant Matte Foundation, then I would say definitely go for the Parure Gold Foundation if you want to try it. I think that this is exactly the kind of foundation that I'm going to use for a business meeting, that I'm going to use for a dinner outside, and for times when I feel like and when I want my skin to look good. Now, the things that I love about this foundation is that it doesn't look cakey on my skin, it doesn't look heavy, and it doesn't have full coverage. It has light medium coverage that is buildable, but the skin still looks like skin. It looks very nice, it looks very perfected, but it still looks like skin, and this is something that I truly appreciate about this foundation. In a nutshell, I can say that until now I didn't think that I'm going to find foundation that is going to be comparable to this one from Clé de Peau. I think that the Guerlain Parure Gold Matte Foundation is definitely comparable to the Clé de Peau foundation. These both contain alcohol. Just keep that in mind if you are eczema prone. But I believe that even if you have sensitive skin, you can still wear the new Guerlain foundation. It doesn't feel irritating, and my skin is not in the best condition right now. So I would say 10 out of 10 for this foundation. I really like the finish. I like the longevity of the foundation. I like everything about this foundation. I'm definitely going to be purchasing it. Once again, the only reason why I wouldn't get a full-size bottle right now is because I have to be careful and plan my purchases in advance. I don't usually use foundation for more than 7-8 months after opening it, because it's still something that sits on your skin all day long. So it's not a good idea to use and to have a lot of foundations opened at the same time. But I really enjoyed the Guerlain foundation. Hello again. Now it's been 5 hours since I first applied the foundation. I didn't touch up, I didn't apply additional powder or anything. I was outside for a little while. Then I want to come closer so that you can see the effect. So the foundation still looks very, very flawless. I don't see my pores, I don't see my imperfections. It probably gets just a little bit, like tiny bit shiny here, but it's not really like shine, but it just looks like skin. It looks incredibly natural. I only changed my lipstick. Well, I changed my lipstick a few times, but right now I'm wearing one of my favorite lipsticks from Dior. I just feel so impressed. I'm impressed actually with this foundation, and I can't wait to get a full-size bottle and see how it's actually going to perform, because Guerlain claimed that if you use it for 2-3 weeks you're going to see also some skincare benefits. Now I wanted to tell you also, say a few words about the Parure Gold Primer, because some of you might be interested in the primer. I've had this primer years ago. It is one of the very good primers. However, I would say that it's not really necessary. It is quite pricey. It is one of the very, very good primers. But do you need it? Do you absolutely need it? No, I don't think so. It's not really going to change the way your foundation looks. So just wanted to let you know in case you're wondering. I've tried both of the Guerlain primers. One is the Meteorites primer and then the Parure Gold primer. The Parure Gold primer actually gives a little bit of radiance. It's a very nice primer. However, I don't think that you absolutely need it. If you don't have it, don't feel like you have to invest, or don't feel like it's going to make your foundation look so much better. It's not really going to make a huge difference. Hey guys, this is going to be my last check again. I changed only my lipstick. I didn't touch up during the day. It's been 9.5 hours, well, almost 10 hours right now after I first applied the foundation. As you can probably see, my skin becomes glowy right now. It looks as if I applied a glowy foundation. I don't see any problems with my skin, considering the fact that I've worn the foundation for the past 10 hours. And I've been outside, I've been inside, I have been cooking also. So I haven't been careful. I haven't been in a, let's say, controlled environment. It's been hot, it's been humid. So I think that the performance of the foundation is absolutely stunning, excellent. I really want to put this side by side with the Clé de Peau Radiant Matte Foundation because I'm curious to see actually how these two are going to perform together side by side. But I think that my foundation right now looks quite good. Of course, if I zoom in, if I get a magnifying mirror, I can see some of my pores around here. But very lightly, I have to really get close with the magnifying mirror to see them. Other than that, apart from the fact that this is the shine that my skin got, I think that the performance of the foundation is excellent. Okay guys, so that was all for today's video. Now one last thing, if you're afraid about the fragrance, all of the Guerlain makeup products are fragrance. This one is not really very fragranced. I can barely feel the scent. It's not irritating at all. It's not like the other Guerlain powders or products that has this really signature very heavy Guerlain scent. Here the scent is actually very subtle and very nice and quickly disappears after application. So once again, thank you so much for spending time with me and for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you here and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.